Many Americans have been deeply concerned that certain U.S. senators have prioritized foreign borders over our own. We are pleased to announce South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham is now standing up for America's borders, and he joins us now. Senator, interesting way we introed this, but welcome to the party.
Thank you. I've always been there. I've always been there. There's four things in this supplemental that are important. We need to help Israel. They're fighting for their lives. If Putin gets away with Ukraine, we'll be in a war with NATO because he won't stop. We need to help Taiwan stand up to China, but we need to secure our own friggin' border. I'm not going to send any money to Ukraine or anywhere else until we fix our broken border. I've been talking about this for about a year. So Director Wray, the head of the FBI today, said he's never seen the threats to the nation at this level. Since October the 7th, the attack on Israel, foreign terrorist organizations are calling for a jihad against America. Our broken border is a danger, and wherever he looks, he sees blinking lights. So I don't mind helping our allies stand up to the bad guys, but we've got to fix our own backyard here. No money for anybody until we secure our border.
Good. I'm not sure you were there, though, before, Senator. I think you were pro-Ukraine funding no matter what.
You missed a lot.
Well, it seemed like the House was the one who attached, some of the pay-fors, our own border, and also some of the pay-fors from the IRS. And I don't think that got support. Did it get support from you?
Yeah, well, we never got it up because the pay-fors, we can't get 60 votes for it. I like paying for things, but now the House is willing to pass a bill, if it's got border security, to help Ukraine. You may not agree that Ukraine is important, but I do. If you thought it was dumb to get out of Afghanistan like Biden did, you're right. If you think you can pull the plug and let Putin get away with invading Ukraine and we'll be safe, you're wrong. If you think China's not watching, you're making a mistake. They'll take Taiwan if we pull the plug on Putin. And not one American's died. They've reduced the Russian army by 50%. So it's important we get that right. Here's what I'll tell you about terrorists. You may be tired of fighting them, but they're not tired of fighting you. You may want to let them go. I don't. I want to fight them over there so they don't come here. I'd like to have partners. That's the world we live in. These people would kill us, not just Israel, if they could get here. So if you leave it up to me, we're going to fight these in their backyard, not ours. We're going to help our allies like Ukraine and Israel stand up to the bad guys before they get here. But the point I'm trying to make is that the American border is more broken than I've ever seen it. I've never been more worried about a terrorist attack today than I am right now. Getting out of Afghanistan was dumber than dirt. Terrorism is on the rise, and they're coming here if we don't stop them. The border is your last line of defense, not your first line of defense. But fentanyl is killing Americans at a record rate. From 18 to 35, the leading cause of death in America is fentanyl poisoning, coming from fentanyl drugs across the Mexican border, made in China.
I lost a son to fentanyl. I'm hyper aware of that risk.
What happened to your son is happening all over this country. God bless you and your family. We're allowing Americans to be poisoned over 100,000 a year from drugs coming across a broken border made in China. So up to me, here's what we do. We lock down our southern border, we help Ukraine, we help Israel, and you're not going to keep the fight away from this country unless you secure your border and hit them over there before they hit you. And I am dead set about defending America, stopping this assault on our country at home and abroad.
And I certainly support your southern border policy of that three-pronged approach. Again, the fear being, what about Taiwan? And what about the next place? And what about the next place?
If China takes Taiwan, that's 80% of all the semiconductors in the world are made in Taiwan. They'll have a monopoly on the digital economy. They won't stop. The last time somebody threatened Europe was Adolf Hitler. Putin's in Ukraine, but he wants more. We'll be at war with a NATO nation if we don't watch it. When you see bad guys trying to do bad things, you better stand up to them. This idea of getting out of Afghanistan, how well did that work out? Leaving Afghanistan didn't make us safer, it made us more dangerous. When bad guys do bad things, you better act before you're in a big war. And the best way to prevent a war is stand up to these thugs while you can. And not one American's died in Ukraine, and I want to keep it that way. I want to keep this war so we don't have to fight it. But our border is broken. You're a great man. You're a good guy. And I'm telling you right now, if we ignore problems, they come bite us in the ass. And I'm not going to let these problems bite us in the ass here at home.
Good enough, Senator. Always good having you on. Senator Lindsey Graham, everyone. Thank you so much. Good to see you again.